Okay, so I can see a lot of this like hard to understand narrative here has to do with the fact this chapter is so long, and in fact I'm not going to finish it. So I'm just going to read another page or two. So I just reset the camera. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so let's pick it up from here. We walked down the pathway to the U.S. Air 737, head swiveled as John stepped onto the plane. We found an open row, and John took the window seat. He asked for my thoughts on Hammer, but I felt uneasy talking. Wasn't everyone around us listening to every word we said? One of my colleagues once told me a story about flying with our boss. The actress Jennifer Aniston also happened to be on the flight. When she saw John, Aniston, who was single at the time, and she was married to Brad Pitt. Yeah, that's right. Rose from her seat and stretched, lifting her arms slowly over her head, then carefully walked up and down the aisle of the business class section like a model on a catwalk. John ignored her. He rarely gave any sign of noticing how anyone reacted to him, but traveling in public sapped his energy. If someone approached him politely, he was polite in return. It was, I think, the legacy of both his mother, with her emphasis on manners, and of his father, because in every stranger politicians see a voter. Repeating that act of goodwill many times a day exhausted John, but it sent people away glowing as if they'd been touched by a faith healer. "He's so nice," people would unfailingly say to me after they met him. Once I was tempted to respond, "What did you expect? You just told him what a great admirer of his you are, or how much his father meant to you. Or you looked at him with puppy love in your eyes. Why shouldn't he be nice? Just because he's famous?" But of course I would never say that. I would simply agree, "Yes, he really is nice." I had come to believe that because John was a celebrity, people didn't expect him to be friendly, and that one of the reasons John mattered was because, in a democracy increasingly ruled by fame, he showed that celebrities did not have to act like monarchists. The flight to Washington was uneventful. Marion Hammer was waiting patiently when at about 5 o'clock we finally arrived at the NRA's expensive but charmless headquarters in the Northern Virginia suburbs. She was a tiny woman, a notch above 5 feet, with a bowl-shaped head of brillo gray hair, who gripped my hand in hers and yanked it up and down as if she were pumping water. We sat in her office surrounded by a Frederick Remington sculpture of a horseman, a framed copy of the Bill of Rights, and a rather melodramatic oil painting of an eagle in flight. While renowned photographer Bruce Davidson snapped pictures, John asked questions about Hammer's love of firearms. Hammer, who had given guns to her preteen grandchildren, answered every inquiry without evasion or apology. She treated John as she would any journalist, and he looked grateful for that, especially because the questions were sometimes uncomfortably